So, let me start with happy holidays. Red's a color for the holidays, right? Let's talk about the Boss Fight Studios Red Sonja because we did finally get new pictures. And I do have some ideas here. I do have some things I want to say. Let's get into it. Okay, so a little while back, Boss Fight Studio did show us a Red Sonja that they were releasing. And a lot of us jumped up, were very excited, jumped on the bandwagon, and pre-ordered it like crazy. Because, I mean, it's Red Sonja, right? And it's a good-looking Red Sonja, and it's in the 1/12 scale, the perfect scale. I love the 1/12. I just think the figures are just big enough to be highly detailed, but just small enough that they don't take up way too much space on the shelf. They're a perfect medium. Unlike 1/6, where they're like very, very big, not a lot of us have the kind of space for that kind of thing. Not if we want to collect in mass. And as you can tell, I collect a lot, so it's the perfect scale for me. One could argue I could get even more with the smaller scale, say 5-inch or even 3-inch figures, which I would argue no. There's just something about it. Like, when they get too small, I feel like I miss certain details and I don't feel as impressed. 6-inch is just perfect. 6 and 7 kind of sits that perfect area for me. It's just what I'm very comfortable with. It's what I like. And I know this is true for a lot of other people. So when all of a sudden they released this Red Sonja, a lot of us jumped on it. We were like, this is for me. And it was good for what it was worth. Until they released an image. We already did this entire video. We already talked about it. If you're curious to see the bad images, the absolute nightmare images that were released that had us all so worried that a good portion of us actually dropped it. Like, we dropped it. We said, ooh, wait, that's really bad. That's what we're paying for? No, that's not okay. And a lot of people canceled their pre-orders. I did not. I very much held on faith, basically, and just crossed my fingers and hoped. I didn't love the idea that I would probably get a figure that would be awful, that would drive me off the line forever, but I was also under the impression that I've seen time and time again that I drop a pre-order or I don't jump in right when I need to, and then I don't get a thing anymore. This is toy buying for adults in this world today, is that pre-orders become very important and sometimes very hard to nab. And I was worried that if I dropped mine, I wouldn't get it back. So I did not drop. I waited. I waited and I watched and I worried. Because there was a very real chance that what I was going to get was not what I had actually intended to pay for, and what was going to show up was going to be garbage. So I kept fighting with myself. And we did an entire video. It's in the annotations, I'm sure. I already put it in the annotations. So you could check it out and see what I was talking about. But recently, a couple days ago, in fact, with the holidays, it's been very tough for me to get in here and do videos, but I basically used my last day off to have a Monday, and I figured, hey, I've got a little time in between all my holiday stuff. Let's do it. Let's talk about it. So it's been very hard for me to get in here and talk about it. But here I am, and here she is. So let's take ourselves over to Instagram real quick and see the figure that they released, okay? And I knew about this figure because somebody specifically brought it to my attention, okay? Sorry for the shock edit right there. I was about to just go right to Instagram when I started realizing that, on Facebook, I could take away the comments and whatnot. On Instagram, I don't know if I can do that, and I didn't want to do the extra editing to, blur out people's names and whatnot. Maybe people don't care because that's a public forum and whatnot. If you're already saying it on the Instagram, maybe that basically means you're saying it in an open room, but I just didn't want to, show a bunch of people's names on the screen or something like that, so I decided to go to this. And either way, this is fine. This is the picture that was released. Here she is. Like, this is what we're looking at. Right off the bat, I can tell you that in many ways, this is way better. For one, that face, way better. That paint job is way better. We put a little more color on the skin, which is fine, but she's still a darker color. In terms of, she's still believable as a redhead. I still like this. I still think it's fine. The axe seems decently painted. Nothing that's going to blow our minds or anything like that. The sword is decently painted. Nothing that's going to blow our minds or anything like that. But the paint job is there and it's solid. I think this is an actual knife that actually goes in a holster. You know, I like that stuff from the G.I. Joe. The gold seems okay. There are things I can cry about here. But we're also looking at a $40 figure. And as we've talked before, at $20 and $40, there are a lot of things that I will forgive at that price point. There's a lot that I will forgive at that price point. And from what I'm seeing here, this isn't bad. It looks to me like the arms are pinless. I don't know if this is strategic, like the way they have the sword here. Are we blocking a pin, or is there a pin there? I don't know. I don't know. This could be a pinless figure, but it is hard to tell. I can tell we do not have a lower ab crunch. We're going to rely completely on the upper abdomen, which is fine. Upper bust, I guess. I guess I call that a bust crunch. I don't know. Double jointed knees, double jointed arms. So far, it looks like this is going to be solid. I'm liking what I see here. I really am. One could argue it's not as good as the other one we were originally shown, but that does happen, okay? And they did something that I appreciate that we're going to talk about here soon. But otherwise, maybe the only argument I would make against this, the chainmail, though one could argue is more accurate to the actual color of chainmail, could that have been a little brighter? I don't know if chroming it out would have been the right idea, though, like a full chrome. Or maybe it's the idea that it's like there's a lot of black, right? But in my experience with Red Sonja, and I have read a lot of Red Sonja over the years, like a ridiculous amount of Red Sonja. On a personal level, normally if you could see underneath to the actual fabric, not just the chainmail, so in a lot of her art you cannot see that, you just see the chainmail. But if you can see underneath, oftentimes it will be a brownish color. Maybe that's part of the issue. Maybe this is too dark, like black in certain spots. I don't think it looks bad. That's about the only thing that I can say, is that the metal almost looks tarnished or dark to me. But one could also argue that that would make sense realistically. But I personally feel like the color of silver that should have been used for the armor pieces here, the chainmail bikini, probably should have been the color like here, like on the sword and the axe. I feel like that would have made more sense. And that's what we got for this Red Sonja that's coming out. Then, the black and white variant. The black, white, and red variant. This one is good looking. I mean, like, this one is so good looking. I love the blood splatter on the sword. I love the fact that we are really playing up that black, white, and red angle. I love that the hair seems to be an even deeper red than the other one. We've got the angry face. We've got the blood splatters. The pure white skin is just very jarring. It's cool. I love that the armor takes a gray, while all the undertones, like all the leather and whatnot, takes this harsh black. I mean, this is cool. I love this red stand. This is great. Like, what they chose to do with the black, white, and red is absolutely fantastic. Like, I have zero complaints on what they're doing there. but I do want to talk about something. So here we are at Big Bad Toy Store, and one thing I'm going to congratulate them on, I just did a search, I just did a Red Sonja search, they upgraded the pictures. They upgraded the pictures, and I want to go see those now. And by the way, the 1/18 scale, for me, I personally feel like this figure is too small. It just wouldn't go with anything that I own, but it's cool that it's a thing. I don't think these have been updated. I'm pretty sure these are still the pictures that they've been claiming she will be. And I would just tell anybody that's currently waiting on this, keep waiting. Because it took a long time for us to see what we were actually buying with these two variants. So let's go in and check that out. Now, first off, these are two pictures right here, the same picture as far as I can tell, which are very much what we just looked at. Then, the next picture in line goes to this. I kind of get that they didn't want to retake all of these photos. But I still think this is misleading. I still think this is misleading. Because here we're seeing the things that we were originally promised. And then you go up and see what she's going to be, and I don't think she looks bad. But I think this is a bit of a bad idea. Oh, and by the way, I guess I didn't realize this until just now. If we have colored these in black, that's actually inaccurate because the holes in her boots should actually show her skin. But that's fine. Maybe this isn't actually colored in black. Maybe it's the way the shadows hit. I don't know yet. I won't know till I have it in hand. I did keep mine pre-ordered. I mentioned that. So I'm not gonna cry about this, but I am gonna say you could blatantly see right here that it is not the same thing. I'm just not sure why we kept these images. I'm not sure why you couldn't have paid a photographer. You don't have to pay a lot, to be honest. I mean, you can find a random photographer that does decent toy photography videos, send them the product, and tell them that they can then send product. They can send pictures back to you. You will pay them. There are so many toy photographers out there that would have killed for a chance to work with something like this that you could have hired and had done this. More than 2 images and then replaced all of these. This, I don't think, is a good idea still. Because you still very much run the real possibility of people seeing this, thinking this is what they're buying this, getting this, and being very irritated. And it could put them off of you. Look, we are in a time now when almost, I would say easily over 50% of the product that we buy as toy collectors are all online and all with nothing more to go on than the images in front of us. If the images go through a whole lot of photo editing, and if the images go through a whole lot of fake imagery, it's just the way I'm going to put it for right now, we don't know what we're buying. And you can easily turn your audience against you and your collectors against you if they buy something that they think they were lied about. This is not a good strategy anymore, is to constantly put out photos that are fake or that don't have enough subtext or enough pre-idea to let us know that this might not be what we're buying, because we need these pictures now more than ever to buy what we're buying. And if we buy something, and this still has the following notices apply to this product, prototype images, disclaimer. I get that, but I think that warning now has to be on there because I'm pretty sure this is what we're getting. I'm not mad about this, but I think that warning has to be on there now because of this. And I feel like that's a bit of a mistake. Personally. I feel like images are very important now in our buying stuff. Now, I'm also going to say, the estimated arrival is still late fourth quarter. I'm recording this on the 23rd. You have very, 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 very little time to get this Red Sonja out. Perhaps she's ready to go. Perhaps she's shipping tomorrow, which would be really inappropriate, by the way. Let workers and families enjoy their holiday. Like, it's not that important for me to have this toy, okay? You could have put this, you could put this till January. Let people enjoy their holiday. Let people enjoy their holiday. I'm all for that. I can wait. On the black and white variant here, we have a bit of the same thing here. This and this are the new pictures they released. So they updated. This is not. And I can tell this is a digital image, by the way. I can like see that something is off about the image now. Like, that I could tell it wasn't, like, this is not the final product. Like, I can look right at it and I can tell you it's not the final product. It's not that that is what's throwing me off. But now people may see this, see the lighter armor, and then be put off when they see this and think that originally they were going to get something that looked like this, which I would argue this actually looks better now than this did. But I'm just saying, you don't want to cause this level of confusion. Now, this is also estimated December. They have like no time for this to do whatever they think they're about to do. But, I mean, I guess you could get in here right off at the 27th and start sending things out. So, I mean, 26th and 27th. So, I guess we're fine, to be fair. And that is fine. But, yeah. I think that we have moved in the right direction here. I think she looks good. I think now I could put myself at ease about when she's going to show up and what kind of condition she'll be in when she shows up. I'm no longer worried about that. And that's good. That's great, in fact. So now it's just a waiting game to see when she actually comes out. I ordered both of them. I will, of course, cover both of them on the channel, whether that be through the live unboxings or separate videos altogether. As you can tell, I'm kind of doing both now. I'm doing live unboxings and I'm doing recorded unboxings as well as doing the videos for the shelves. There's just a lot that I'm trying to do on this channel, and we'll see how all of these things pan out over time, what people like. Who knows? Maybe the live unboxings end up going over so well that that becomes the main focus of the channel. Maybe that really flops hard and we end up going back 100% just to recorded unboxings. And then the channel slows down for what it's worth because those take a little bit more time. We'll see how things pan out. But for what it's worth, I'm back on board here 100%. I was worried. That worry has diminished quite a bit. I have a good feeling now. We will see where this takes us from here. Red Sonja on the way very soon, looking much better, a lot less of a lie. We're 100% on board now. Now we just got to get the figure in our hands and see how she turned out. I'm going to get out of here.
I have spoken. Take what you will from it.